Hello guys, so far we have covered a lot in Java 8, like we have covered lambda expressions, then we move to the functional interfaces, and in the functional interface we have seen consumer interface, then by consumer interface and predicate interface. Now we are going to cover the function interface. So let's start this session. So the function interface is another functional interface present in java.util.function package. And you might be thinking now that what is its uses? So far, whatever the functional interface we have covered that only consume something and only return true or either does not return anything. Like consumer interface will take input and it will consume it. It will not return anything. And in same in the case of by consumer, and in the case of predicate interface, what it will take a boolean expression and it will either return true or false. But here my requirement is I want to take some input and I want to return something from the lambda expression or from our functional interface. So for that purpose we will use the function interface. So let's see its usage. So here you can see in the middle a functional function interface having R and T generic type. Here T denotes the input. The input we will pass to this functional interface, and R will be the return type. That means the value returned by this function interface. All right, so let's see the abstract method. The abstract method supported by this function interface is apply. So it will take the input as T and return R. And let's see the default method. So it support two default method, that is compose and then. So don't worry, we will see these all in action in our Eclipse IDE with the real-time example as we saw the previous ones. And it's also support one static method identity. So let's go to the examples and let me open my IDE here. So in the IDE also I have opened its documentation, like its source code. So here you can see this function interface which is annotated with @functional interface, and it is present from Java 1.8. It has one abstract method as we have seen in the PPT also, that apply. It will take T generic T type as an input and it will return R as a generic R as a response, right? And it has the default method. This is compose, and another one is and then. So compose can take multiple function lambdas and compose and process it. And if you want to process one function lambda expression with, after that you want to process another in the consecutive manner, then you can use and then. And we have this identity also. So don't worry, let's see these all in action. So let me move my this class. Here I am explaining all the things to you. So let me do a comment for like function interface. As I said, that functional interface will take one input and it will return some output. Okay, as we have seen the other functional interfaces, those are not returning any output as per our needs. So for that reason, we will use function interface. So think of the use case. In the use case, we will pass some input and we want to do the uppercase of that is input. Okay, so for that, we are passing one string and we want to process that string, and we need to get out the uppercase version of that string. So for that reason we will create one function, and it will has two generic as we discussed, T and R. So R will be the return here and T will be the input. So let's say input will be the string and R will be the return, which is also a string. And this F1 I will say for this. And now we will need to define the lambda. So in the input body of the lambda, what parameter we are passing? We are passing a string, right? So let's say we will pass some name, and we will return something. So this will define the lambda body and this one. And here we will do the name dot to uppercase, to uppercase, right? And it to the semicolon, and we have to use return here. Okay, so we are returning this one. So you must have understood why we have used return, because we are using curly braces, right? If you are not using curly braces, then this statement is enough to return these uppercase version of the input string. But now we are using curly braces, so return keyword is mandatory. So let's call this lambda now. So to call the lambda, we will call its abstract method f1 dot apply, and in the apply we will pass this string. Let's say I will pass my channel name. So let's save it and execute it to see the result. All right, as you can see, we have passed the lowercase version and our lambda is giving us the uppercase version here. Okay, so this is the simple usage of function interface. Let's see some of the other examples too. Now suppose I want to perform some concatenation in this string. Okay, how I will do that? So for that I will create one more lambda. Let me copy and paste the same thing. Okay, and in this we will call it f2, and it will take one input and I have to perform the concat operation, right? So we will change here the concat, and in the concat I will do the concatenation with another string YouTube channel, and I will use the same one with this one, and here I will call this lambda expression and just save it and the all right, here you can see the two string with the concatenated one. So what it does, it we have created one lambda expression using the function which will take one input as a string and which will also return as a string. So we have taken this input parameter name which will hold that incoming input, and it will do the concatenation and return it when we call the abstract method of function interface. So here we are calling that abstract method with the input, and it is giving us the concatenated string as per our need in the result. Now let's see the default method of the function interface. So function interface has two default method as we have seen here, which are they first is compose and another was and then. So let's try to use them. So we have two function lambdas. Okay, so what we can do is we can combine these. So I will do that f1 dot and then f2, and I will call apply in this one, and in the apply I will pass the code craving. Save it and let's execute it. Okay, so have you seen this thing? Means what it does is this is our f1. Okay, the f1 is for the uppercase. So first one f1 will take this input and it will pass to the uppercase one, and it is printing the uppercase. Now the second one f2, what it is doing, it is passing this string, and it is doing the concatenation. Okay, then we will get the YouTube channel here. Let's see the compose method of the function interface. So in the compose method I will do the same thing, means copy here and paste it, and I will replace and then with compose. So what do you think, what will be the output? So let's see the output and then we will discuss it. So the output is like all the input is in uppercase, and here the first string is uppercase and then we have the concatenation. So what it is doing is, in the first one and then method, the f1 is executed first. So f1 is only the uppercase operation, That's why we have the code craving in the uppercase. Then it will perform the concatenation, and we have concatenation in the lowercase. But in the compose method, the the argument which you will pass in the compose will be executed first. Means first it will perform the concatenation, and then it will do the uppercase one. Hope this is clear to you guys. So let's take last one more meaningful example of the functional interface. So we have here is employer database. So I have created one dummy database, like, okay, and it is returning the employee list here. So in the employee list, my requirement is like uh I need to pass this employee list, and I need to get a result in the form of map. And in the map, the name will be the key, and their hobbies will be the value. Okay, so this is my requirement. So how I will code this one? So let me move back, and for this, what I will do, I will create one function. In the function, what is the input? Input is the list of employee. Sorry for that. List of employee. Okay, this is the input. And what I told you, what will be the output? Output will be map. Map of what? The first name, and first name will be string, and the list of hobbies. And so the values will be list, and hobbies are in the form of string, right? Okay, so this is the one, means we will pass input as this, and we want output something like this one. So this is the requirement. So let's say it is f3, f f3, and then equals to, and what is the input? Employee list. So I will hold that employee list here, and this is the lambda, and again this is the body of that one, and I will use this semicolon here. So what is my requirement? I need to pass this employee list, and I need to return a map of this kind. Means the key is the string. String means the name of the employee, and the value of that map should be the hobbies. So I will do this employee list. Is in the employee list, I will call the for loop. So here I will use a for each loop. So for each loop, what it will do, it will take a one object every time, and it will pass it in the body so that we can use it. So in the for each loop, let's say we will get employee, and this employee will take, and we will put this employee name into a map. So we need to define this map here equals to new, let's say I'm using hash map as of now, and the key is also, let me do the thing, let me do it blank here. Okay. And okay, so this error is because we haven't defined its name. So let's say result. Okay, now I will using this for each loop in which we are getting every employee object, and I'm using this result dot put because it is the map, and in the key I am amp dot get name is there, right? And here emp dot get hobbies, which will return the list of a string. And at the last, sorry, at the last, we will return this result. Okay, so this is the function lambda which we have created for our requirement. Let me explain this one more time to you, that our requirement is we will pass one employee list and we want result is like in the map, and in the map key should be the name and value should be the hobbies of that employee. So for that reason we will pass the employee list here, and in the employee list we are doing, we are processing each object using for each loop, and we are putting every employee object name and hobbies in the created hash map inside and returning the result. Now how we will call this lambda which we have created? So to call the any lambda, right, you should remember that we need to call its abstract method. So f3 dot apply, and here we will pass the list of employee, and the list of employee will be accessible, means in the employee database class, right? So using this class employee database dot get all employee, and I will hold it to, why it's not giving me any suggestion, let me directly pass it here. Okay, so it will return the list and it will do the job, and I will hold it into the local variable of this apply, and I will, let's say we will print this result and to see our result, right? Result, that's it. So this is the one and I think it should work. Let's execute it. All right, you can see that we have the first name and the value with its hobbies, then we have the second name of employee and its hobbies, right? So we have the desired result which we want using the function interface. So that's it for this video. Let's continue with the next video in which we will discuss the supplier interface.